Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Last week we were talking about the Lumix S5II X, which I have swapped over from the original S5. Today we are going to talk about why I didn't go with the BS1H, which is in my hand right here, and why this camera, although extremely capable and extremely good, is gonna go away, and I choose the Lumix S5II X. Box format. This is the box type camera where we don't have a viewfinder, we have nothing but bare bones processing and raw sensor. It still compresses obviously, so it's not just raw sensor, but yep, raw output. This is a more professional camera than the S5II X, and that's because of the I/O which this has. It's a more professional camera than the S5II X. SDI, TC in and out gen lock, a full-size HDMI USB-C. On the other side you've got a mic, LAN input for broadcasting purposes, and a headphone output, and also a power in if you don't have a battery, as well as one of those like lock tether things where you lock it up so you don't miss it somewhere. Over here you've got two card slots opening up on that side. It's got 5 functionality buttons that you can update, and then also you have a customizable button on here, so 6 I guess you can customize 6. I think there's a mode in the camera where you can actually go and select whilst recording what the buttons do whilst recording, so I think there's more than 5. You should have like 5 or 6 at least 6 buttons to customize on this camera, if not more, if I'm not mistaken. Its most use is going to be tight places where you can't actually fit a good camera with a good sensor. Most places it will fit because of the size. The size is small, but it is heavier. With the battery attached, this is a chunky piece of gear. Don't be fooled by the small size. This is kind of lumpy. It's definitely heavier than my S5II X, and it's definitely heavier than the S5, 100%, because the S5II X is a little bit bigger, so it's a little bit heavier. This, on the other hand, is a chunky little box. It's little, but it's chunky. No, it's got its own gravity around it. No, I'm joking. No. So be prepared if you buy this camera, and the reason why I am talking about all these inputs and the outside of the camera is because it comes bare bone. So bare bone means there's nothing on the camera. You need a handle for ergonomics. You need to handle for ergonomics to hold it up. You need a monitor to see what you're doing, because obviously with no monitor you won't be able to check focus or change settings and everything. So you definitely need a monitor, so be prepared to add more stuff to it. Like I said, this is a small setup. It's meant to go into tight spaces where image quality is still a priority, and you can definitely do it with this camera. But again, be advised, this is quite a heavy camera for its size. It looks like it's small and it could be light, but definitely not. It's not. With the battery attached, it's definitely not a small camera. Another thing that you should note is because of the weight and how this is distributed, and if you are thinking of flying like I did, I thought I could fly this on a gimbal because it's so small, and you thought, yeah, I could get away with it. Be advised, this is heavy. Plus, if you put a cine lens on the front, the cine lens is gonna be quite heavy as well. And I think depending on your cine lens, it's going to tip over to the front. That battery, the length of it on my RS3, either I need to lift it and then shift it back, or you need to sort of add more weight to the body, which is more weight. So yeah, let's get to the good stuff. Let's pop up some images. Let's play the game. A or B? You tell me which one is which. Can you tell the difference between the S5II X and the BS1H? Let's give it a go. Welcome back. Did you get it? Did you guess? I'm not too sure if you can, because they are absolutely so similar in their sensor output that it's just impossible to choose to pick. They're very similar. They're almost identical. I would say, like on my, I know YouTube is going to compress some of it, so you might actually not see any difference. On my screen, I see a slight edge towards this camera in some of the formats, in the shadow areas. This one is a little bit noisier. If you can see a difference, I would be very interested to know how you've guessed it, and is it a lens choice, or is it simply pure luck, or is it some other form of soothsayerism that you have there, and you kind of perceive with your third eye what camera it is. So workflow, why does it not fit into my workflow? Well, the reason is because of weight. I went for the lighter setup, even though it doesn't look as professional as this, and it doesn't have all the gizmos and outputs and SDI, which makes it a bit more professional on set. For example, if you have a different sort of monitor to plug in, like SDI monitor output for like a director's monitor or something like that. You can choose in the camera what to record, HDMI or SDI. SDI, I think there's a limitation to HD, to full HD only. HDI is raw output via a HDMI. So choose your recorder, Ninja or Blackmagic, whichever one you choose, it does that. Autofocus is number 2, because now I'm going to be doing a bit more YouTube stuff, so I need that good. I need a better autofocus system than no autofocus system. It does have an autofocus system, but it's like the S5. It's completely pointless to even call it that. So yeah, autofocus, weight, size, and still images. I still want to take a few snaps, you know, it's still capable of taking this. On the other hand, I'm not sure I can take a still image with this, although it's not that big of a deal. But I think the other two things sort of tip me into putting my pennies into S5II X instead of the BS1H. If you want to see more comparisons for the the S5II X, I have another video on the S5II X. I'll link it somewhere. I'll pop it up on screen for you guys, so you can actually check out the S5II X review. I compare it to the S5, to the OG S5. And we do play the game A and B. Which one it is, can you guess? Yeah, so thank you for playing. Tell me, which camera did you think it was, A or B? In this video, was it the BS1H or the Lumix or the S5II X? Tell me down below in the comments. Obviously, please guys, like and subscribe because it'll help me out. I will pop more stuff on and I'll be able to chat more with you in the next one. See ya.